What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at some words related to children, babies, parents, all of that kind of stuff. Actually, this was the topic of today's Zoom session in our private community, English TV Live. You can click on the link below for more information, but we were talking about parenthood and childhood. So these are some simple words, I'm sure you know: parenthood, being a parent; childhood, being a child. But we can also say motherhood, fatherhood. So when you add on the hood to the end of these words, it becomes being that thing, being a father, being a mother, being a child. But we also have neighborhood, but it doesn't mean being a neighbor. It just means the place. So only specifically for those words. But let's get into some more. Now, a common mistake that I see many English learners make, maybe you, maybe not, is using the word grow up incorrectly, the phrasal verb grow up. So if you grow up, that is something that you just do naturally, right? A child grows up. It's a baby, then it is a toddler, right? Then it is a kid, child, I guess you could say. Next, preteen, tween, teenager, and time to become an adult, I guess, after that. This process, growing up, it's something that just happens, right? You grow up. But what do the parents do? The parents don't grow the children or grow up the children. That sounds very, very strange. So you would say bring up. Parents bring up their children. Hopefully, they bring up their children very well. Another word you can use is raise. So parents raise their children. When you are describing what the parent actively does, taking care of the kids, right? Making sure that they grow healthily and happily, they are raising, bringing them up, nurturing them. Nurturing refers more to the emotional side, making sure that kids are happy and loved, etc. Another word you could use is rear, but this is not so commonly used, at least from what I've heard, to rear children. I've heard it used more for animals, actually, rearing animals. And you can raise animals as well. Maybe if you have a farm, you could raise pigs and cows and chickens and whoever else you want to raise as well. However, grow is only for plants. This is very important. This is a word I really wanted to focus on because I've heard it used incorrectly. So to grow can be for plants, vegetables, flowers, etc., those kinds of things, but not for people or animals. And one other thing is grow up. You wouldn't use grow up in the active form as well. So you wouldn't say I grow up flowers, just I grow flowers, okay? Bring up children, grow flowers. Hopefully that makes sense. A few more bits of vocabulary. Now, as the kids get a little bit older, they might become naughty from time to time. Hopefully not, but if they do, you're gonna need some discipline. So maybe punishing them if they do something bad, or rewarding them if they do something good. Now, if they do something bad, there are different punishments, of course, that you could give. And a popular one, at least I know in the United States is very popular, I think in England as well, although my parents never did this with me, but grounding, okay? To ground your children. What does this mean? So to ground your children, as you might be able to guess, means they have to stay at home. Now, these days with the lockdown and everything, maybe it's not as much of an effective punishment as it was in the past, but grounding, yes. You're grounded, the parents might say. That means you have to stay at home. You can't go out and meet your friends. Maybe the child misbehaved or got a bad score on the test or got into a fight. Whatever the case may be, grounding is an option. Another word that comes to mind for kids as they get older, maybe as they become a little bit older, maybe teenagers, etc., they might want to spend more time out with their friends, and they'll have to come home by a certain time, probably, right? So the parents would probably set a curfew. Set a curfew. Again, this is maybe becoming more normal for everybody because of curfews with COVID lockdowns and all of that. But that is something parents can do, set a curfew. So a child or teenager could say, I've got a 10 p.m. curfew. I need to get home soon. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you had a curfew when you were a child, a teenager. Maybe you have one now because of the lockdown. An only child. Again, this might be very obvious, but if you don't have any brothers or sisters, any siblings, then you are an only child. The school run. Now, this is the time of day when parents take their children to and from school. So they drop off their children at school in the morning and pick them up or collect them in afternoon, I guess, maybe the evening, it depends. But this can be described as the school run. Very busy time for parents, of course, especially in the morning when everything is a little bit more chaotic. Baby proofing. This is when you make sure that your house is safe for your baby or toddler, child. When people become parents, maybe you are a parent, I'm not, as far as I know, yet. When people become parents, they suddenly notice, wow, all of these different places in the house are so dangerous for my little baby. So what you want to do is you want to baby-proof or child-proof the home. Make sure that it is safe for children, especially when they become toddlers, starting to walk around, bump into things, table corners, dangerous, sharp things. You want to make sure that those things are safe or out of the way. Baby-proof the home. All right, so those are some words that came to mind related to childhood and parenthood. As I said, these are some words we talked about during our discussion this morning on Zoom, in our group speaking class over there on Zoom in our private community. Click below in the description to join us. Would be great to see you inside. Whether you are a parent or not, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, give it a big like. And of course, as always, practice making your own sentences in the comment box below with any new words that you learned today. But until next time, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.